Hello, stampers and crafters. My name is Sharon Lake. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the U.S. And today I have a fun little project for you, my second Christmas card. And this is the Christmas card that I'm working on and going to demonstrate today. This one is very quick, very fast to make, and yet very beautiful, quite elegant. I have this envelope that goes with it, which I've just embellished with a little snowflake and the word joy to correlate with the front of the card there. And we're just going to get started on that. So today I'm going to be showcasing once again the Snow is Glistening stamp set. This is a limited edition available just from November 1st through November 30th. Very gorgeous set. So today we're going to be using this Christmas tree that is made up, as you can see, entirely of snowflakes. And the little stem on the tree. We'll also be using, let's just see, this particular snowflake to embellish the inside, and the snow is falling. Now today we're going to be using the Stamparatus. These snow is falling stamps right here are made perfectly for the hinges on the Stamparatus, as I'm going to demonstrate. But this is just a very fun, very quick little card to make, and we're just going to get started. So I am using the foiled card bases with the matching envelopes. It is part of your holiday catalog. Get 20 cards for $9.50. Excellent buy, and it's a wonderful way to be able to send out very beautiful cards that look very rich. And it's just very, very fun. So since I had made the other card, I do just have my Stamparatus already set up here. And I am using in the Stamparatus the new sheets that are available. They're throwaway sheets. You get a whole stack of those, and I'm able to put it on top of my little foam mat since we're using photopolymer stamps today. So I find that I get a really good impression if I'm not always working right up here in the corner. And since I have this grid sheet, it works out perfectly to be able to put it just where I want it, right out here. So I'm just lining it up 1 inch in from the side and from the bottom. And I'm just going to use my Embossing Buddy and just wipe that cardstock down because we are going to be embossing. We're going to be using our white embossing powder and our Versamark ink. So just get that card front prep there. Okay, and then I'm just going to be using one magnet. We're going to put that over on this side of the paper. And I'm going to open up my well-used Versamark ink pad here, as you can see. And the first thing that I'm going to do is stamp up the tree. So I'm going to try and get that very well covered there, since we are using the Stamparatus. If I don't feel that I've got a good impression, we can always stamp that a second time. That's the beauty of the Stamparatus. All right, just going to fold that over and give that a good press. Okay. And the nice thing about the plates on the Stamparatus is they are a little bit thinner, so while you do, you are able to push things down pretty evenly, you can give a little extra pressure to areas that might not be coming down quite so well. All right, so I'm going to just stick my finger, there we go, and get that to release. It really does tend to hang on to that Versamark ink there. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is work on the snowfall right up here. So get that inked. All right, and come down. So we're gonna, I lined that up so it's right at the top right edge of the card front there. All right. And we're going to lift the hinge up, move it down 2 slots, not 1, but 2. We're going to hit that once more with the Versamark ink. You'll see how wonderfully that comes together there. Now it'll probably be a little difficult for you to see on this night of navy paper, but as soon as we put our embossing powder on there, you'll see how beautifully that stands out and how wonderfully that seamed together, moving that hinge down 2 times. Okay, so I'm just going to pull my card front out of there now. I'm going to set my Stamparatus aside. Okay, and pick up my white embossing powder. When I made up the example card, I couldn't believe how quickly that came together and how beautiful that looked. If you have a lot of people to send cards out to, using your Stamparatus and doing this particular card will yield excellent results for you, because you can put these cards together in no time at all and just have a gorgeous card. And using the silver foiled card bases and envelopes, oh my goodness, I am absolutely in love with those. As soon as they came in the mail, well, I saw them in the catalog and I just thought that they were gorgeous, but once they did come in the mail, I was so impressed with that. All right, so before I hit that with our heat gun, I am just going to use another little stamp from the set, the one that says Joy. And I am going to tap that right into our Versamark pad there. And I'm going to hit that right down here at the bottom. That way we can get all of our embossing done on the front of the card at once. My silver embossing powder. Perfect. All right. And we are ready to grab our heat tool and get that set. Just going to give it a second to warm up here before I melt the powders there. The reason we let our tool heat up is so that we can melt the powder very quickly and not warp our card. See, I'm already, whoops, just get my fingers on there and hold that still. There we go. I always love using the heat tool and the embossing powder. It seems like magic to me as it melts that embossing powder and everything just becomes shiny and beautiful on the card. Okay, so there we go. Our card front is almost all ready. I am just going to fold and crease my card base there before I place the card front that we just made on. Grab my bone folder. I'm just going to do this from the back so I don't take any chance of scratching that beautiful silver foil. Give that a nice crease. All right. So now I'm just going to grab a few Stampin Dimensionals and pop this card front on those. I put enough dimensionals on here to really give it a little substance, because when you put these cards in the mail, I don't want it to flatten out. So, but these dimensionals are really wonderful because they're not so thick that they're going to make the card difficult to fit in the envelope. And just peel those off and we'll stick our card base down. So our card front here is cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4, just so that we can show a bit of the silver foil around the edges and keep that nice rich look on the card. The card is a standard A2 size, so it is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. All right. See if I can just get this set down nice and straight here. And the Night of Navy and the white just seems to show up so beautifully there. So the one little addition that we're going to add to this card is I do have my Snowflake Trinkets. These are just beautiful. These are also part of that limited edition Snowflake showcase for this month. They have a beautiful little rhinestone in the center. They do have 2 different designs, and these are the 2. Actually, I think I am going to use this other one for this card too. Make it just a little bit different from my example. So we're going to use a glue dot to stick that down. I'm just going to stick my mini glue dot right in the center. That fits perfectly for that. There we are. There we go. Give that a nice press and let that glue dot adhere. And then I am just going to put a sentiment on the inside of the card here. And then I'm going to use that snowflake stamp that I showed you earlier. We're going to put a few silver embossed images of that right down the side here. So the first thing we're going to do, I don't prefer to stamp my sentiments with embossing powder. I've tried that a few times. Sometimes it comes out well, sometimes it comes out a little muddled. But I found that my Smoky Slate was a perfect color for mirroring the silver and stamping the sentiment inside the card. So I'm just going to use that and put our sentiment towards the left side of the card and right up at the top. And that comes out absolutely perfectly. So let me just close that ink pad back up. And then we're going to open our Versamark. Let me first grab my Embossing Buddy. Give that a nice little rub inside the card. And I'm going to stick about 4 snowflakes, just kind of falling down the side. I want them to go in different directions. I'm just going to turn my little acrylic block this way and that to try and get a different direction on there as I go down. Perfect. All right. So now let me grab back my silver embossing powder and put that on, and our card is almost done. One thing I did want to do, however, though, let me just do that very quickly, is I did put an embellishment here on the front of the envelope. As you can see with these envelopes, there's a lovely large area to put your return address right here on the back of the envelope. So what I've done is use my stamp and put a snowflake right up here in the corner with the word joy, just as we used on the front of the card, and put that right next to that up here in the corner. That way we have a little embellishment and are able to tie our envelope in to the card theme. Okay, and here's my silver embossing powder, and we'll just get both of those powdered up here. I've been using tons of my silver embossing powder, so it is time for me to restock. Anytime that I can see the bottom of my container, I tend to worry. And the embossing powder is only $5 for every little pot of it, so not an expensive thing, and they last forever. Okay. Push my little spoon back in the container and close that up and grab the heat tool, and we are almost done. And I'm just going to let that warm for a second before I bring that in and melt our powder up. All right, and there the magic has happened. So again, we have this gorgeous, gorgeous envelope to put your Christmas card in. These beautiful silver snowflakes coming down just the side of the card are greeting Merry Christmas to you and peace on earth to all the world. We have the lovely snowflake embellishment here on the front. And what a quick, rich, beautiful card that is. I hope you enjoyed today's project. Please give me a thumbs up. Please share and subscribe to my channel if you are enjoying what you're seeing. I'm so happy that you stopped by my channel today and took a look at my projects. I'm so happy. Just the thought that you spared some of your day and shared it with me is just a wonderful experience for me. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Also, don't forget to visit my website. It is www.cardcrazysharon.stampinup.net. I'll put a list below of the ingredients for today's card, and you'll be able to buy those supplies at my website. Thank you so much for stopping by, and have a great day. Bye-bye.